storytelling, he's the one.
Journalists have been urged to uphold professionalism, accuracy, and ethical standards as Uganda heads towards the 2026 general elections. This call was made during a one-day training workshop organized by the Electoral Commission in partnership with the African Center for Media Excellence at Hotel Triangle in Mbarara. The workshop themed Enhancing Professionalism in Media Reporting on the 2026 general elections brought together journalists from across southwestern Uganda. Julius Muchunguzi, the head of public relations and spokesperson at the Electoral Commission, cautioned journalists against unprofessional behavior, saying the public will closely observe their conduct during the elections.
Election coverage can make a journalist, or it can destroy him or her. And this is why. Because our elections are very, very highly contentious. Every morning when you wake up and you go in your newsrooms planning on how you're going to cover the day, the politicians are also meeting, strategizing on how to make use of you to convey their agenda. Because they want to say, how are we going to appear on Ogatali Bonfufu, or Akawungezi, or Agabutikide, or Live at 9, or all your news bulletins. Where is it, Tayan? Against wrong, okay? And all those, they are planning, which means you are a target for the politicians in this season. So it is possible that by the end of this season, if you are not careful, you can find people branding you, not as a journalist, but as an activist or an agent of a candidate or a political party. And that is the worst indictment that can happen to journalists.
Veteran media trainer John Baptist Waswa also urged journalists not to lose their trust of their audiences or media houses during the campaign season.
Interested in the stories. People are interested in people. Tell us the stories about people and elections. People want to read about people, and all other things. How the security situation be changing in your area over time? Who have been standing? What have been the issues? One time it was the water, and have the issues been addressed? You see, when you travel around the country, you see the country changing. When you go to towns now, they look very good. Even Masaka was looking very good. Guru, you go to Guru. Guru. Is looking so good because of these projects. But some of these things have been campaign promises. People have been promising and they deliver. Sometimes they do not deliver. So we need to widen the scope in which we look at elections. And for you editors, this is your job. Sit your teams and plan. This month what are we going to cover? Someone should look at the promises which were made. What promises did the president make last time? Where has he delivered? Where has he not delivered?
Meanwhile, Flora Aduk, a senior program officer at ACME, encouraged participants to ensure gender sensitivity and fairness in their reporting.
In your region, you have to ask them this. Think about how was it covered in the last election? What has changed? What did this candidate promise? Okay? And another thing also I need to dispel before we go further. Just because I'm a woman and is a man, it doesn't mean I'm gender sensitive. So let's even first remove that. That is why you see I'm not saying, oh, female journalists say this, male journalists. No. Each of us as a journalist, pretend you're not male, you're not female. But you need to address these issues. Okay? So are we together so far? Okay. So now let's come to...
Participants commended the organizers for what they described as a timely and empowering initiative that will enhance credible election coverage.
We are grateful to the Electoral Commission for organizing this training because we've been reminded of the core principles and the ethical values in journalism that we need to balance both sides when we are covering political stories. we've been reminded that we need to keep getting information from the right sources, like if it's about electoral results, we need to get the information from the polling station, from the polling station officials. And also on the issue of security, we've been reminded that during these elections, if there is chaos, we need to protect ourselves. And of course, we've always been told that no story is worth a journalist's life. So this is going to help us in our daily activities as journalists, as we seek to inform the nation.
Nk'abanyamakuru omusomo guno gutwegezeze engeri twine kwetwaza tuhandiika habintu ebyobululu habwokuba abaingi abanyamakuru osanga already taking sides n'abakandesi nake baitu hati batwijukya ngo tukavaringa political campaigns zimu political rallies twine kuba professional twine kuondera ebintu ebitwasomera twine kutwara side twine kuhandika ebisuba twine kuhandika ebiriyo facts twine kuhandika ebisuba kandi naitwe kwerinda okwetuka abantu nambera ali akavuyo genda mpora yirinda kwanewe at the end of the day oborora munyamakuru betu nino komeza.
As Uganda moves closer to the 2026 general elections, the call remains clear. Journalists must uphold professionalism and integrity to ensure fair, balanced and credible coverage that strengthens public trust in the electoral process. Compiled by Nobat Ndiamhachi and King Solomon Tunamasko for Kigezi Television in Bara.
If you assess that the situation is hostile or is becoming hostile, mind your life first and property, like members have said.